Everyone, Zeddy here again to do the brand new video, and the expansion is out in just a few hours, and I promised I'd get this video out there, so let's do it. I wanted to basically, let's speculate. Every like, how many expansions in a row now, we've seen an insane amount of balance patches, nerfs, all that kind of stuff. Especially like the last one, the last set, Ashes of Outland, we saw, I believe, 3 balance patches within the month of the game coming out, so I thought it might be a little bit fun to try something a little bit different and predict what will the cards be that will be nerfed first coming out of the release of Scholomance Academy. This will be pure speculation, probably vastly wrong because it's based off of reviews of cards that, I mean, historically people just always miss the mark. There's sleepers you miss, you overrate power level on cards and all that, but I just thought it'd be fun. My guess of the cards that will be nerfed within a month of the release of Scholomance Academy. So, let's start off with number 10. This is a card that I feel a lot of people are sleeping on the power level. I only saw like Vicious Syndicate rate this highly, and that's Intrepid Initiate. I believe that this little one drop is going to be a ridiculous power level aggro card, and it's giving me small time Buccaneer vibes all over again. It's effectively a neutral flame imp. It's got spell burst, gain +2 attack on the 1/2 body, and on decks with cheap spells like Rogue and Demon Hunter with like Twin Slice, it's just very powerful. Or you just have the coin and you have a 1-mana 3/2. I feel like it's just going to be a very powerful, obnoxious card, and like Small Time Buccaneer, it might get dialed back to say like maybe it goes to 1 health and it's just like a 3/1 or whatever. We'll see. But that'll be my first prediction. Number 9, I'm going to go with Glide. I think this card, a lot of people, again, saying it's not as powerful as people think. I think it is, and I think it's as infuriating a card as it can be in terms of, you know, your opponent top decks it, draws 4 cards for 4 mana, and disrupts you. It's just brutal. Yes, it's bad in the aggro mirror, but other than that, Divine Favor was also bad in the aggro mirror, and that card got Hall of Fame. So, Glide probably, I don't know, gets bumped up to like 5 mana, something like that. We'll have to wait and see, but yes, I believe Glide could very well get nerfed. And I mean, it'd be historically accurate. You gotta have a Demon Hunter card get nerfed. It wouldn't be a Demon Hunter release without broken Demon Hunter cards, right? Number 8, I'm going to go with Mindrender Elucia, the 2-mana 1/3 Priest Legendary, that you basically steal your opponent's hand and their deck for a turn, and you get to do whatever you want with it for whatever mana you have. I think this card is obnoxiously, ridiculously powerful, and in the worst type of way where your opponent literally can't do anything. They just get to watch you destroy your deck or your hand, and you don't get to really play the game, and that's incredibly frustrating and not exactly fun design in any way. And I think at 2 mana, it's just ridiculously undercosted and way too flexible, and is just going to be obnoxiously powerful in both standard and wild. So I would not be surprised to see this card bump up in mana cost 1 or maybe 2. I just can't imagine this card stays the same way unless I'm completely evaluating it incorrectly. Number 7, I believe to be Risky Skipper. This is not a new card. This is a card that's been out since the adventure came out for Galakrond's Awakening, and yeah, this pirate has just done incredible work for Warrior. It's just utterly broken. It's such a good card. The 1-mana 1/3 that deals 1 damage for every minion you play. And again, with the Lord Barov, this card's even more broken because Barov clears every board with this card alone. It's insane, and I don't know, I feel like they're going to want to eventually get away from Warrior being that dominant archetype that relies on Skipper and all of that. And I don't think you can nerf it to a 1/2. I think that kills the card entirely. But maybe bumping up to 2 mana would make it a little bit more reasonable. It's still a powerful card. Still can do a lot of good stuff. Very comparable to Wild Pyromancer. And yeah, I could definitely see it going up to 2 mana. Number 6 is Secret Passage, the new rogue spell. 1 mana, you draw 5 cards, and you draw 5, you can do whatever you want with it, and then you get your hand back at the start of your next turn. This card just seems egregiously overpowered. Like, it's just insane. 1 mana, draw 5. Super flexible, like Divine Favor, basically, on crack with the downside of, well, not really any, and you get your hand back. It's just crazy good. I think it's going to be way too powerful in rogue decks, and every rogue deck can basically run this, especially the aggressive ones that want to dump their hand. And again, both in Standard and Wild, the power level of this card is just absolutely crazy. So I would not be surprised in the least to see Secret Passage being nerfed. And I got a golden, as I mentioned, so that's a +1 for me. I'd love to see that. Number 5, we have a dual class card, Paladin and Priest, Devout Pupil. It is the 6 mana 4/5 Divine Shield taunt, so Sunwalker, and every time you play a spell on a friendly minion, it becomes 1 less. This card is just broken in Paladin. The whole Libram package, it's just broken. You're gonna get this out for 0 mana in record time, and you have ways of like tutoring out your Libram of Wisdoms with the new legendary and all of that. Like, it's just utterly ridiculous. It's just, at 6 mana, this is not a bad card. It's Sunwalker. That card is so borderline playable. It's one of the best classic cards there is. And yeah, you knock mana off by 1 or 2, the card's great. But you're easily going to knock it off by like 6. It's going to be 0 a lot. And that's just way too good. It's way too good in my opinion. Like, this card is just silly broken. It's silly broken, and I would not be surprised at all if it gets nerfed. I bump it up by 2 or 4 mana. I leave the stat line, I think that's fine. But I bump it up by 2 or 4, and it's still probably pretty good. Like, you still can cheat it out pretty well. You have to play 2 spells, and then it's a Sunwalker. Is that really that bad? Especially in Paladin, where that's not an issue? No, it really isn't, so yeah. This card, I would be shocked if it doesn't get nerfed at some point. Especially early on, where it's just gonna be... It's gonna be ridiculous to cheat that out so quickly. Number 4, we have Sorcerers Apprentice. I am putting this out there. A classic card getting nerfed. Cora recently mentioned on Twitter that Apprentice is on their radar. I've been harping about this card like crazy for a while about Quest Mage. We've had lots of videos and all that stuff with relatively popular sentiment about it. It is a core classic card. It enables really broken stuff. It does cool things like the Exotic combo. But the thing is, the Exotic combo is, again, active in Standard. And if that becomes a problem, and again, of course, you have Wild Quest Mage, which is definitely a problem, and I think will continue to be a problem, this card gets hit. I really think it... When they mention something's on their radar, it's historically almost always been nerfed. And I sincerely believe that the first major balance patch that they will hit us up with will include a wild-centric nerf, and I think it'll be Sorcerer's Apprentice. I think she'll get hit, and it'll be the suggestion we've been making for quite some time, that spells can't cost less than 1. Not the typo I put in that video. So yeah, Apprentice, I think, will finally get hit. That'll upset a lot of people, and I get it. It's a card a lot of people have attachment to, especially with Exodia Mage and a lot of other cool combos. Like, I want to do the Miracle Spell Mage combo. We're going to be doing that day 1, and that won't be possible with the version of Apprentice. I think that will happen. And again, I could totally be wrong, but it's my prediction. I'm making that prediction, so I think Apprentice will get nerfed. Number 3, we have Voracious Reader. The power creep of Jeeves is real. It's a 2 mana 1/3 that draws you 3 cards at the end of your turn. At least as long as you have 3 cards. Gets you to 3 cards, like Jeeves did. And it's one-sided. And it's 2 mana less than Jeeves. This card's broken. I kept saying that in my review, and all that stuff, it's broken. It will get nerfed. I gotta believe this has to get nerfed. I don't understand how this is okay. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Jeeves is a very playable wild card right now. It sees play. It's 4 mana, and it's 2-sided. This is 2 mana, 1-sided, is 1 less health, and isn't a mech, which is barely ever relevant. It's broken. This is gonna get nerfed. This just seems like an egregiously broken, overpowered card. Be very surprised. And yeah, I'd see it go to like 3 or 4 mana. Probably not 4, because I guess it'd be a little bit worse than Jeeves, even though it's 1-sided, but you could even put it to 4. It's just stupid. Number 2 is Lightning Bloom. I believe this card's going to break the game. Like, legitimately break the game in both Shaman and Druid, where it's playable. And it's that 0 mana spell, gain 2 mana crystals, and overload for 2. I just don't think the downside's enough of a downside. It's still just Innervate. Innervate, you made when it was unnerfed, you would play it early to create this ridiculous board state that your opponent can't possibly answer, and you win. It's not because of the follow-up after, it's that initial ridiculous board state. And I think with cards like kaelthas and things like that, it's going to be a huge problem. There's just too many ways to abuse this for this not to be broken. How do you nerf it? I don't know. Like, do you make it 1 mana, gain 2 mana crystals? Like, I think that might help. Where it's like, it has the Innervate effect, but you have to pay a mana to get the 2 mana. You can't just play it on 0. You don't have that extreme flexibility. Or you add Overload 3. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, I just can't see this card not breaking the game of both Standard and Wild. It's just, there's a reason they nerfed Innervate. It was such a problematic card for such a long time. And believe it or not, back in the day when I wasn't streaming, I used to complain about power level of cards. It's not just a new thing. Shocking, I know. And my most hated card for years was Innervate. I thought it was ridiculous that it always created these high roll things that nobody could ever answer, and you just lose. It created so many non-games. It's my issue with Edwin as well, is that it creates that early unanswerable thing that you just lose to, and the game feels terrible. And that's what I think Lightning Bloom will do. So yeah, I would be hoping that it's... first off, I hope I'm wrong, that it's not as powerful as I think it is. And if I am correct, then I hope that they do nerf it relatively quickly, because I just don't think that type of design is exactly what we're striving for anymore. We don't like the 0 mana cards, and we don't like the mana cheat as much, and this card does both of those things, so that's really terrifying. And lastly, number 1 card I believe will get nerfed is Lightning Bloom's little brother, his partner in crime, kaelthas. Kaelthas Unstrider. It's already been nerfed once from 6 to 7 mana, and I believe one of the big reasons why Lightning Bloom and cards like that are such a problem is kaelthas. And I think they missed the mark when they originally nerfed it, and I think they might figure out that, yes, you should only get 1 spell for free. I believe you would just nerf kaelthas to say, your third spell this turn costs 0. Okay? So you could play you cheat out 1 10 mana spell. Still insanely powerful, but you can't do these ridiculous chains, especially in Wild, with UIs and all of that. And if it lives, then you can do it again. Right? Like, it wouldn't be a battle cry, it'd be an aura effect. But it would be a one-time bomb, and I think that would be beneficial. And I think that kaelthas just will forever limit design space if it stays in its current state. Like, it's just a broken card. And I really, really sincerely believe it should be nerfed, and hopefully it will. So, let me know what you think. Do you have your own predictions of cards that will get nerfed? Do you agree, disagree, all of that? Always a fun debate to have in chat. And a friendly reminder, like something like 24% of my viewers, or 27, it's less than 30% of my viewers are subbed, so I appreciate, I'm honored that so many people watch, but if you feel I've earned your sub, that you would like to get those notifications, I would greatly appreciate it. We're getting closer and closer to 10,000 subs. We're actually getting there. What the hell, thank you. So if we could get there, that'd be amazing. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe, all of that. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.